Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, like Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, where a lone astronaut must save humanity from extinction, narrated with stunning intensity by Ray Porter. From electrifying suspense and daring quest to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that'll keep you guessing. Discover exclusive Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Because Audible knows there's no greater thrill than the one that speaks to you. Discover what lies beyond the edge of your seat. Start your free 30-day trial at audible.com/WonderyUS. That's audible.com/WonderyUS.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Like wild boars, unneeded military invading your city.
Yep.
How about the trenches in your mouth?
Oh, God, and things that just make you wish you were dead.
Like getting beat down by Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
How about crying at Coldplay?
Oh, so
or
sad.
French boys with BB guns.
French boys with BB guns. That was an 80s like emo band, right?
I love them. I still listen to them.
So good.
Yeah.
They're not as good as
Cocteau Twins?
our theme song.
Oh, fuck. I really screwed that up. All right, let's play our theme song.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Goblin down, Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Welcome in.
Welcome to the show. We're in the middle of a fire because LA's on fire.
It's the flames are licking my eyes as we speak.
We're actually on top of a car that we just set on fire.
Yeah.
Good luck catching us, Marines and National Guard. Haha.
Well, but that did happen. Someone did set a car on fire.
Sure. I'm sure.
Waymos.
What? Waymos. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not.
But the rest is
bullshit.
greatly exaggerated.
It's
And-
it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's like absolutely ridiculous. We're fine. It's just fucking awful.
Did you think you could get mad? Were you like, I can't get mad again?
Kind of.
You're like, I'm done. Everything that could make me in a rage. I'm already at my max, and then you realize, oh, there's no limit.
No, right.
The
it's
limit
just,
is there's just the line keeps moving.
to me, it's not so much rage. It's just like a huge sigh of like, fuck. Like it's just resignation at this point. I just don't understand. There's no. I mean, of course, I'm mad about what's going on, but it's just I feel defeated. I feel like they're just defeating us with bad news over and over and over again. So I'm just like, yeah, I guess you guys win. Like I don't think
I think LA's doing a really good job at fighting back. I feel very hopeful.
Yes,
because I think LA is like, I'm very proud of LA right now.
Yeah, and our governor and our mayor for sure stepped up and said this is bullshit. We don't need the
I'm so proud of them.
Well, let's not give too much credit where credit is not due, because Karen Bass has said some stupid fucking shit.
What did she say?
That she was sort of perpetuating that there's violence happening.
She said that
there isn't.
It isn't peaceful to be blocking the freeway.
Yeah,
which I don't know. I think she doesn't want there to be violence.
Right.
I mean,
but she was pretty clearly stated we don't need this. This is ridiculous. But she's
Yes.
also the mayor, and she's also in charge of keeping the city safe.
Yes.
And if people are blocking the freeway, that's not exactly safe. And if people are setting cars on fire, which happened maybe one, that's not nonviolent. You can't say that's not nonviolent.
Absolutely.
So, or that it is nonviolent.
And it's not effective.
Right.
Violence is not, we don't want that part of it.
Well, I mean,
No.
who knows if it is effective or not?
Right.
The problem is the image is bad because
Yes.
the whole point is we're trying to tell the country, don't believe your eyes.
Yes.
There's nothing going on here. And then if people are setting fire to cars, well, that doesn't exactly help the cause. But I think it was probably one car, and it's not like the insurrection, for example.
Yes. That he's ironically calling this when he actually pardoned real insurrectionists.
So yesterday morning, I said to Jimmy, so when does he start showing like fake footage of the city on fire? And then last night he said, oh, yeah, there's footage going around of the 2020.
Ted Cruz
Oh, yeah,
showed
Ted
it.
Cruz.
A lot of,
Yeah.
it's happening.
I was like,
It didn't take long.
I was trying to stay in a good frame of mind yesterday because it was Oliver's graduation.
Yay, Oliver!
Yes! It was very exciting.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it.
But every time but I also have to be online to, do my job. I was
Sure.
doing my job in the morning. And so I kept reading stuff and I kept looking at stuff. So I couldn't not take it in.
Yes.
And then, 3/4 of or at least half the school is Hispanic, and that wasn't
Yes.
lost. And then they had they teach different languages at the school, so they had a representative from each language welcome everyone in that language. So that was neat.
That's so cool.
One kid did it in Spanish, and they didn't like address it outright. I wish they had kind of been a little bit more pointed, but it was nice. It was nice to hear someone speaking Spanish and, being applauded for that. And so that was good.
This is just such a campaign of hate and fear. And also I'm just want to say that I'm especially resentful that it's made me attracted to Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
That's
again
made me the most angry.
So Oliver's graduation was at the Greek.
Yes.
And as we were sitting there, through 473 graduates.
Oh my God. I hope you brought a book. Did you bring your 900-page book?
I'm 94% done.
Oh my God.
I'm 94% done. I'm so excited.
You're going to get a master's degree after this.
Just in this book. I know. Just keeping the characters straight. But I was like thinking, well, at least it's really hard to park at the Greek. Like, I don't think ICE is going to be making the trek up the hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really was thinking that. When I
Yeah.
heard Hispanic surname after Hispanic surname, I was like, oh, fuck.
Do you think their ears were perked up at some distant location?
Yeah, they
Yeah, 'cause they
just
could just hear the
Did I hear
names.
Gonzalez? So I told my dad, I wrote my dad a very specific email, and I said, I will pick you up at 3.
Yes.
Please eat ahead of time because it's going to be a long day and there's no food there.
Yeah.
And wear sunblock.
Yeah.
So I show up and he looked nice, but like, I was like, oh, you're going to be way too hot. And he was
Okay.
like, well, I'll take off the jacket. I was like, are you sure you don't want to change? He was like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. So then we get there and they're actually, they sold sodas, water, and pretzels, like $7 for a soda.
Yeah.
Sounds right. So I did share a pretzel with my dad. And then later he said something about, because we didn't know if we were going to make dinner because everyone said it's really hard getting out of the Greek after the graduation, but I had made 8:30 reservations. We didn't know. We didn't know if we were going to
Yeah,
make it.
of course.
So then he said something about food and I said, oh, I have a bar. I brought you a bar. So I give him a bar, whatever. It was like a toddler.
Yeah.
So
you're a parent.
yeah. So then
Rattle.
So we did make dinner.
Nice.
Like, it was impossible to find Oliver. Like, it's impossible to find any of them. It was insane. Imagine almost 500 kids plus all their families. They're like, so now you can go meet your grads at the opening of the Greek.
Yeah.
And I said to Jimmy, oh, at the opening of the Greek? Like, that's specific. I mean, it was just, it was a mob.
Yeah.
And I could not find him. I found all of his friends and I couldn't find him. I'd left the old people at the gate. I was like, do not move. I said to Jimmy, I'm like, do not let them move. Stay here.
You needed one of those leashes like they put on little kids.
Yeah, Disneyland.
A little
Yeah.
monkey thing.
Yeah. So I just walked my way back, and then Oliver had found them, thank God. So anyway, we did get out. We got out in time for dinner. We made the reservation. We were early. I don't know how it happened. And then my dad says, yeah, I didn't eat today. And I'm like, motherfucker, what did I tell you to do? I said, I told you.
You put it in writing, didn't you?
I put it in writing. I emailed it to him.
Yes.
I said, I bet you didn't even put on sunblock. And he didn't hear me, or he didn't respond to that. He goes, well, it was fine. He goes, there wasn't anything in the house, and I didn't feel like getting anything. I'm like, I told you it was going to be hours and hours sitting there, because it's like, it was. We were like there an hour and a half early because you're trying to get seat. Anyway.
You know, these kids, they don't listen.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
So, big day.
Yes.
Very exciting.
It is exciting.
Oh, wait. How was Coldplay? How was Vegas?
Coldplay was so good. As you might expect, Coldplay puts on a good show.
I don't have any expectations one way or the other.
Well, you don't hate them, right?
I don't hate them.
Okay.
Not my son.
They're incredible live. Chris Martin is very charismatic and joyful.
Good.
Sincere. You know,
yeah.
You know, they played all their hits and some stuff from their new album. And yeah, they were great. We had really good seats.
Oh, good.
So we were, even though it was like, it said like partial obstructed view and the tickets were pretty affordable, they were really close to the stage.
Oh, good.
Like kind of off to the side. And then we were right in front of a huge screen.
Nice.
You know, that was next to the stage. So we could see them, and we were just right in front of a big screen. So that was really incredible.
Where was this at?
It was at the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
That's where I saw Taylor Swift. It's a nice little stadium.
It was nice, and
it's outdoor.
It's indoor.
Oh, okay.
It was cold.
Oh,
they like air conditioned to the max.
Right.
Benji had a great time. He danced. He sang.
So sweet.
He cried. I cried. So, do you want to know two things that made me cry?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that made me cry is he goes, and at one point he says, okay, I'm going to read some of your signs. You guys brought signs. And so he's reading some signs, and he says, all right, you guys come up here. And it's these two men who are kind of dressed in the same clothes, and you can see they're a couple.
Okay.
And they're both so excited. And they say, can we sing Evermore with you? I think the song's Evermore. It's Ever Something. Okay. And it's a song about his friend who died. So it's a sad song. Mm-hmm. And he's singing it, and then they're so in love with each other that they're like looking in each other's eyes, sitting next to him at the piano while he's singing it. And then he lets them sing it with him. And like, I just was so moved by that I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And it was just really sweet. And Benji's like, why are you crying, Mom? I'm like, it's okay. I just was moved by it. The second thing was, he does this thing where he sings little songs about people in the audience, and they've gone already and picked them. So he'll sing a song about like a mom and a daughter. Okay. That's like, thank you for coming, mom and daughter. You're so sweet together. But it rhymes. And then he'll say, thank you, mothers and sons. Something like, I hope you come back when you're 20 and I'm 101. And then he sings about just different people. And then he says, thank you, Celine Dion. And Celine Dion's in the audience.
Whoa.
And like, she looks really surprised and kind of like rolling her eyes, like, why did you pick me? But like, I just got so emotional because, you know, she's so sick. And I'm not even a fan. I mean, I get her talent, but I don't like listening to her music. But like, it just, the look of like appreciation on her face when he honored her, and the whole stadium just stood up and was like screaming for her, was so moving.
Did she look frail?
No, she looked good, but like, it just felt so, I don't know, powerful to sort of have an artist call out this other artist. Right. And just everyone was so appreciative and just so loving toward her. It was really very sweet and powerful. He did a joke that was, it was right when the show was, it was one of their biggest songs. And right when it goes from the slow part to this fast part, he goes, oh, wait. And then he goes and walks back to the drummer and is like, I think I forgot to pay my parking.
Okay.
And that was like the joke.
Okay, there's no way he could stay with Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, she wouldn't put up with this.
Well, I was thinking about Dakota.
Are they still together?
I think they
Dakota
are.
Johnson?
I think. And I was like, I wonder if Dakota Johnson is like, he just says I love you too much.
I could totally see that,
Like,
because she's a little hard-edged.
Like, I think I could just see her talking to her mom, because her mom's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Her mom has had, first of all, her mom's childhood, right? She
Holy
had fucking
shit.
lions in her house.
Well, and she was like dating Don Johnson when she was 13
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
her dad. And she could be like, Mom, he just wants to make so much prolonged eye contact.
She's like
when
Dakota, just...
She's like, oh, Dakota, just here's a little weed I just got.
Yeah.
It's really good. Just smoke that before you guys hook up. She's like, no, he wants to make eye contact the whole time we're having sex, Mom. Like, he insists on full eye contact.
And she's like, oh, honey, just think of someone else.
Yeah. You know what I did when I was with Antonio, because he's a very passionate lover. Mom, I don't want to know the details of you, Antonio. But I could feel like she could just be like, he's too sincere.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
Right?
It is a weird coupling now that you say it.
He's too nice.
Yeah.
He's never gonna fuck me in the ass. Like,
no.
That's all he wants.
And if he does, he'll apologize and sing Yellow while he does it. I really want to hear about the restaurant, but I think we should
let's
save
get
that to the end of the show.
Yes.
Because we should get into our topic.
There's something weird going on in the building today.
Yes, there's a lot of construction or something.
It's rioters.
It's not happening downtown, but it is happening in Sherbrooke.
Exactly. That's where it's all happening. I have a really fun topic today.
Okay.
We're all worried about it.
Yeah.
It's how to survive trench mouth.
Okay.
Do you guys know what that is even?
It's not foot and mouth disease.
It's not hand, foot, mouth disease.
Hand, foot, and mouth.
Which my kids had. Did Oliver have it?
No.
Okay.
And it's not, no one's surprised that your children had.
No, of course not. In my house.
And it's not the thing that we were warned about drenching your food. Do you remember that guy?
No.
Don't drench your food in mayonnaise or ketchup or goo. It's no fun to eat, but you can't even see, so don't drown your food.
No, I have no idea.
It was a Saturday morning.
Why can't you?
You know what? That was always our question. It was like, is it really that big of a deal to put ketchup on your anyway. It was like a little PSA.
Oh, because maybe it's bad for you? Or...
I mean, I guess, too much
mayonnaise I could see.
Yeah.
Ketchup's full of sugar. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's neither of those. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the Cleveland Clinic says.
Okay.
It is a more advanced and serious form of gingivitis, a common gum disease. It makes your gums bleed, hurt, and swell. It causes ulcers or lesions between your teeth and kills gum tissue.
God.
Without treatment.
No wonder they call it trench mouth.
I'm going to tell you about that next.
Okay.
If my computer cooperates. Sorry, I had a little problem.
No worries.
Without treatment, trench mouth can destroy gum tissue and then spread into nearby tissues such as your cheeks, lips, or jawbone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it can eat away at it. Do you want to know why it's called trench mouth?
Yes.
Do you have any guesses?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with being in a war.
Okay.
And not having access, being in a trench and not having access to dental hygiene.
You are
tools.
100% correct.
Thank you.
Because during World War I, it was prevalent among soldiers in the trenches. Okay. So during battle, the troops are in these long stalemates where they're stuck in the trenches for a long time, right? So their guns were getting better care than their gums.
Isn't that just the way?
That is the way. That is the way.
Maybe they should have taken those things that you clean the gun with.
Like the pipe cleaner thing?
The pipe cleaner,
Big
yeah.
fat ones and just...
Yeah, and just
scrape
that every once in a while.
They probably should have. So when people would send packages from home, they were much happier to get like a sugar-packed fruitcake than a package from home with tooth powder and brushes. Back then, it was tooth powder. Many soldiers did nothing to care for their teeth. So they're in the situation where they're undernourished, they're extremely stressed, their immune systems are fighting off multiple infections, maybe even an injury. So this mix of bacteria could lay waste to the gums in the form of this non-contagious but painful infection. It's technically known as acute necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis.
Wow.
ANUG.
ANUG.
And today it's just called NUG.
Okay.
So that's if your dentist says you got some NUG in there.
So people still get this?
People still get it.
Okay.
Also, antibiotics were not available until WW2.
Right.
So they weren't an option. in the trenches, and doctors were treating the trench mouth with hydrogen peroxide. So that's just a surface treatment, right? And also, this is a more pressing issue than dysentery, typhoid, influenza, which killed millions, right? And not to mention, they also would get something called trench foot and trench fever.
Ooh.
Jeez.
So their feet, because they were wet all the time in the trenches, would get these bad lesions and infections. The trench fever, I think, had to do with getting bitten. I think the lice maybe caused that.
Oh my God.
That's why their heads were shaved a lot to keep the louse off. But then they would also get so cold because their heads were shaved. So I think the trench fever had to do with the insects biting them all the time, but I'm not positive on that. I read about it and I've already forgotten.
It's like a franchise, like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire.
Yes,
it's
there's multiple.
Trench mouth, trench foot.
This could be a whole
series,
in multiple. It could almost be
armpit.
its own network.
Yeah.
And we could get, we could get Peter Krause to be in all of them.
Oh, he'll be in all of them.
That's who
and
we
he'll
want.
be great.
Oh,
he'll be
good.
wasted.
Yes.
But he'll be great.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's wasted on this. But if we can get him.
Yeah, Peter Krause is trench nose.
I want to watch this.
I would.
I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So trench mouth existed before WW1, but it was called Vincent's stomatitis after a doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Vincent, let's say. That's what we're going to call
I
him.
don't really want to be known for that. But
I know.
okay.
But it's like, if he were still alive, he'd be like, I don't want this to be called after me.
No.
I didn't have it. I just came up with the idea of it. So linked to poor oral hygiene, smoking, poor nutrition, psychological stress. So they knew it's not like trench mouth was like invented during World War I. It was just called something else. So today, what is this? Do we need to know this? Okay. Today, chronic gingivitis, which can be reversed, and the more severe condition, periodontitis, are not typically painful. And in periodontitis, a lot of the damage to the bone that holds the teeth in place is caused by the patient's immune system reacting to the buildup of plaque and bacteria.
Oh. It's fighting.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you don't treat it, NUG, also known as trench mouth, it can become chronic or recurrent. And in rare cases, it can lead to the speedy destruction of the tissues and bones supporting the teeth.
Jesus.
So you don't want to mess around with this trench mouth business, okay? I really wish my kids listened to the show only so my son could hear this, because this kid, it is impossible to get him to brush his teeth.
You know what? My friend, same with her son.
Yeah.
And he's older. He's old. He's a lot older than Benjamin. But I'm like, really?
It's like, what?
Like, it's really hard?
It's
but
really
I guess
hard.
some kids just don't want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it. And he'll lie. He doesn't usually lie, but I'll be like, did you brush your teeth? Yep. I'll go check his toothbrush. It's dry. I'll be like, this is dry. Get in here and brush your teeth.
Then he just wets the toothbrush.
Yeah. He'll do that too. It's so weird. And so in parts of Africa where nutrition is poor and immune suppression is a problem, there's a related condition called cancrum oris. Or NOMA. It stands for something, I don't know what it is, but it's bad. And this is the destruction even spreads to the cheeks, lips, the bones of the jaw. So I've seen pictures of this. I don't recommend you go looking for it.
You know I'm going to, right?
Okay. So you can. It's gnarly and it's sad. You're probably wondering now.
Just like Coldplay.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse. Coldplay alien or this condition. You're probably wondering at this point.
Yes.
Is this common in the U.S.?
Sure.
Well, it affects about 0.5% to 11% of the population. That seems like a lot, right?
Huge range.
Yeah, it is.
0.5 to 11?
It probably depends on parts of the country where there's poverty and,
absolutely.
It's like, so it affects people typically aged 18 to 20.
Oh.
It's weird.
So specific.
Yeah. It's more common in areas where people lack access to dental care. People who have immune system diseases, particularly HIV, are at an increased risk for trench mouth. Okay. Here are some symptoms. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, these aren't symptoms. These are risks.
Okay.
Having HIV.
Yeah.
Having diabetes. Having gingivitis previously. Having gum injuries. Not getting enough sleep. Smoking. alcohol abuse, poor diet, and poor oral hygiene. So if anybody listening falls into those categories, know that you are at an increased risk. Symptoms. That's what I need to talk about. You may develop sudden and intense gum pain that affects one or several places on your gums. Here are other symptoms. Okay. You may notice ulcers or sores, and the tiny slivers of skin between your teeth may have, or you may have these tiny slivers, right? Yellow, white, or gray membrane or film on the skin between your teeth.
Wow.
Your gums bleed easily. Here's a big one. Extremely bad breath. Some doctors use this as their main diagnostic tool.
I'm sorry, doctors.
Yeah, I know. I could not be a dentist. Someone who has a serious form of trench mouth may have the following symptoms: swollen lymph nodes, fever, fatigue.
Yeah, because it's wow.
Yeah, it can really mess you up. A diagnosis will start with a complete medical history that includes current stressors, family history, diet, and oral hygiene practice. It's really kind of wild how much stress plays a role. Right?
Yeah, in everything, I guess.
In everything.
And then you start, the other, of course, symptom is that you start thinking you see the Red Baron in the sky because you think you're in a World War I trench.
Yes. And you may dig a trench.
Yes. Oh, that's really bad. Naked burrowing.
Yeah. When you start naked burrowing.
Oh, boy.
The trench.
Oh, holy shit.
You've gone too far.
Yeah.
Your doctor may test for the presence of something called fusiform bacteria, Prevotella intermedia, and Spirochetes. These are 3 forms of bacteria that may be present with trench mouth. You don't have to remember that. He's going to tell you. Or she will. Sexism much over here?
Jeez.
It was his mother.
Yes, I know. The patriarchy rules me.
Yep.
They might give you a physical, and they're going to check out your saliva. How's it treated? You want
Spit in my face so I know if you're sick.
Yeah, like those llamas. Yes. All those llamas have trench mouth. Beware. So here's what they're going to do. They may use some ultrasonic instruments or chemicals to clean your teeth, to remove the dead tissue from your gums. They're going to maybe prescribe you some antibiotics because we have those now, some pain medication because you're hurting. Sometimes you might need gum surgery to fill in any craters between your teeth.
Jesus.
Craters. Okay, so after your dentist stops the infection or slows it enough, they will deep clean your teeth with something called a scaling and root planing procedure. Now,
when I hear the word scaling,
some people have had these who don't have trench mouth, but they just have really, bad gingivitis, and that sounds terrible. I've never had to do this. Have you guys ever had any of these kind of deep cleaning techniques?
No.
I don't.
They could go under your gums and really do this intense. Okay, so you've gotten your scaling and root planing, and they've hopefully fixed you up. Okay, sometimes you've got to get the gum surgery. Now, maintenance. You've gotten all this done. Your poor habits and stress led to your trench mouth. So get your shit together, people.
Yeah.
I mean, do what you can to reduce your stress, right? Once it's treated, are you cured?
I'm going to say no. It can come back.
Exactly. While the treatment usually cures trench mouth, there are times when treatment doesn't work. Some common reasons for treatment failing to work include, well, the treatment didn't remove the infection's root cause.
Okay.
There's still some dead or diseased tissue. You have an underlying medical issue that makes it difficult to cure trench mouth, or you're not taking good care of your teeth, right? So you have to follow the good dental hygiene. You can't just go back to, putting disease food in your mouth. No,
yeah.
I don't know.
Disease food is so good.
It's so good. It's so bad for you, but it's so every once in a while. I mean, you just don't overdo it.
I like the diseased food chips.
Yes.
Those are my favorite.
The baked ones?
Mm-hmm. Guess what?
Yeah.
I have a story.
Oh, good.
But listen to this.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a survival story about trench mouth. So instead, we're going to listen to a story about a guy who survived being trapped in a trench.
Works for me.
All right. Eric, how do you think this is pronounced? Because I don't want to mess it up. Giguere.
Gigu what?
Uere.
It sounds
Giguere.
French.
Giguere.
I think he's a Latino man.
Yeah, French.
Giguere? I don't know.
Giguere. All right. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I didn't get all of it. Shoot. All right. Okay.
Well, he lived.
The end. No. Okay. So, this is Buried Alive, Lessons from a Trench Collapse Survivor.
Oh, boy. Karen's having heart palpitations.
Really anxious.
Cover your mouth. You don't want to get the
Eric
dirt.
Gigieri remained conscious for only 90 seconds after a trench cave-in left him trapped 6.5 feet underground. It was plenty of time to experience the terror of being buried alive. From the corner of my eye, I saw the dirt coming in so fast. Then it just covered me up in an instant. Thank you. It was pitch black. I couldn't see. I couldn't move. I was completely helpless. Every time I would exhale, the dirt would get tighter and tighter. It crushed my chest. I couldn't breathe. I was suffocating, he recalls. As a laborer working for a small contractor, Gigier had been installing a 12-inch water main as part of a 6-man crew. I knew I wasn't going to see my family again. I wasn't going to see my friends again. I knew I was going to die right then because we didn't follow safety procedures. The backhoe operator took a chance and removed the top 2 feet of soil. Then the crew started digging. When his coworkers reached him, his nose and mouth were dirt-caked. He had no pulse, and his hands were blue.
Oh, my God.
But he survived, thanks to a coworker who did CPR while Gigieri was still partly buried and an ambulance crew that resuscitated his heart and airlifted him to the hospital. He remained on life support for 36 hours. All his ribs were broken or cracked. One lung was punctured, and all the blood vessels in his eyes were popped because of his frantic efforts to breathe through dirt.
Wait, how were his teeth? I'm just trying to bring it back around.
He had trench mouth.
Oh, fuck. Not that, too.
The dentist had to do the root and plane.
Right? They had to get literal dirt out of there.
Yeah. Worse, 3 areas of his brain were damaged due to oxygen deprivation.
God.
Gigieri spent 2.5 years in therapy recovering from his injuries. And 15 years after, he still has nightmares.
Yeah.
I would never want to go to fucking sleep again. I'd be like,
I would never want to go near dirt.
No.
He doesn't even use a blanket.
No. He just sleeps on top of the covers.
But he's used his ordeal to do good. As the founder of Safety Awareness Solutions, he shares with companies and workers his eye-opening account of what it's like to be buried alive and the consequences of becoming complacent about safety. On the day of the accident, when the trench excavation went below 5 feet, Gigieri knew they should stop and put in a trench box or slope the sides. But his boss had always done without those precautions.
Okay.
And I was 27 years old. I was a bulletproof kid who didn't think anything would happen to me. I'm sure those things are going to get better now.
Oh.
Well,
I'm sure these workers will speak up for themselves.
Oh, God.
The cave-in occurred after an operator hit a pipe at the bottom of the trench. Gigieri was kneeling in the trench when the earth gave way. I had no time to run, no time to move, no time to get away.
Oh, my God.
Gigieri was extremely fortunate. Trench collapses are rarely survivable. According to OSHA, just 1 cubic yard of soil, which weighs up to 3,000 pounds, can crush a trapped worker's body. Unfortunately, trench-related fatalities and injuries are on the rise. In 2016, which I'm sure the numbers, this is from 2016, but I had read when I was looking for trench stories, it kept bringing up, or trench mouth, it kept bringing up these trench accidents, and all I would see was they were on the rise. 23 workers were killed and 12 others injured in trench collapses. Year to date, through June 1st, 2017, OSHA reported 15 fatalities and 19 workers' injuries reported to trench collapses. It's one of the most dangerous construction activities contractors face. Okay. All trenches, I'm just skipping a little bit. All trenches have the potential to collapse over time due to environmental conditions, surface flooding, vibrations, and other factors. Hydrostatic pressure from water will add to that hazard, increasing the occurrence. All right.
Oof, man.
Jesus.
I'm just looking because some of this,
Did he regain his brain function? It sounds like he did. They always say, like, when you lose oxygen to your brain, like, that's usually permanent. But it sounds like if he's giving talks and stuff, maybe he's okay.
I think he's recovered pretty well, considering.
Jeez Louise, that is so scary.
I talk about attitude and not being complacent, he said. I had a terrible attitude towards safety and I lacked training and experience. The message really is that safety is your responsibility. You have to use the safety equipment. You have to follow the safety procedures. You have to go to all the safety trainings because you want to, not because your company says you have to. Following that advice will help workers get home safe to their families. If workers see something unsafe about the trench operations on a job, they need to speak up, Gigeri added. In the end, it's your life you're gambling with. That accident that you didn't think would ever happen to you, it can happen to you. Well, yeah, that's easy for you to say, but what happens when you're undocumented and you are afraid to say a word? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I thought that was pretty harrowing.
Jeez Louise. And
my favorite part about that story is that you said his name differently every single time.
Yeah, Gruyere,
guys, I like cheese.
Gili,
Gagosian,
yeah,
Geronimo.
Wait, what was his name? The guy, Tanya Harding's.
Galooly.
Grimace.
Richard Gere.
So weird who added Richard for no reason. It's just so strange. Greco. Richard Grieco. Wow. Okay. Well, I liked all of the information and both parts of that. The trench mouth and the falling in a trench.
Yeah, sorry.
Yikes.
It was just, you got a 2-for-1 on this one.
Love it.
It's 2-for.
It's 2 for Tuesday. It is 2 for Tuesday.
It is 2 for Tuesday, and it's Taco Tuesday. I don't have tacos.
All right. Well, we will take a break.
Yes, we will.
And we'll be back right after this.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how was your break?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
I accomplished nothing.
That's the best kind. Well, that's what a break is. You're not supposed to accomplish anything.
Exactly.
You don't want to be working on a break or a vacation.
Yeah, what am I, some kind of workaholic?
Yeah, what are you, some kind of 80s woman with big shoulder pads, wearing sneakers to work?
I like that.
And putting your heels in your purse?
Yeah, maybe. A little Melanie Griffith energy.
Yes.
Big perm.
Big, huge perm.
Yeah, hanging out with Alec Baldwin in his heyday. Looking good.
Holy
Before we knew how bananas he was.
Yeah.
All his anger and
so angry.
So mad at everybody.
I think you get that angry when you used to look like he used to look and then you don't look like that anymore. Maybe that makes you angry.
Maybe. Do you think he is that aware of it? I don't know. I feel like men are just like unaware of the mirror.
No,
they're
I think
he's like, I still look that good.
No, I think he is.
Points out.
Yeah, his daughter pointed it. We told you on that one episode.
Oh yeah,
where we watched. Garen and I. I only watched the first episode.
Yeah, I don't think I went.
The Baldwins.
Maybe the first 2, and then I was out.
Yeah, and then they're all getting haircuts, and and the little sister or the older sister is like texting them pictures of like how they should get their haircut, and she sends Alec a picture of him in the 90s looking really, really hot. It was very funny.
You used to look like this.
Well, on the first half of the show, hold on to your seats for this one. We talked about trench mouth, and now we're going to talk about French South.
Yep, that's what we're doing
with Siobhan Murphy. Hi, Siobhan.
Hi, guys. It took everything in my power not to interject as you're doing this beautiful intro.
It's amazing, isn't it? Oh. You can thank Kristine for that brilliant turn of phrase.
It
was wonderful.
Genius writers who clearly know the language.
Now, Siobhan, I would be remiss if I didn't say your name the way my son says. Well, he regularly imitates Brian Cox.
Do it.
Saying, Siobhan!
Yeah, that's correct.
Did you get a lot of that when Succession was on?
Yes, and it was, my manager, Bruce, who your husband knows very well, he just started calling me Shiv, unprompted.
Oh,
he was just like, now you're Shiv. And I was like, all right.
But no one calls you Shiv?
No, like growing up, like teenage-wise, it was Chevy.
Oh, okay.
But then I was sort of like the truck?
Yeah.
It would be cool. Chevy, but Shiv... I was very grateful for Succession for that reason.
Yeah,
they
now
I was
people
just
can
like,
say it.
They know it. And then, because I'll be like, I'm Siobhan, like on Succession.
Right.
And they'll be, oh, yes, okay, great.
Yes.
Shiv, can I?
Yeah.
I was like, of course, just, yes.
It's now a name people have heard of.
Exactly. Because
Yes.
it's a weird one.
Then they start calling you Pinky.
Yeah.
They called her Pinky. He called her Pinky
that
on the
was-
show.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
That was a sort of like
His affectionate
his
nickname
affectionate name for her.
Yeah.
Pinky. So Siobhan is an actress and currently on 2 shows. Cross on Amazon. Now, Garen said he had watched that. I don't know what that is.
I want to watch it.
Educate
Tell
us.
So Cross, it's based on a series of books by James Patterson. You might have heard of the movies they did with Morgan Freeman. This was like in the 90s, Kiss the Girls, and
Yes.
Along Came a Spider.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Ashley Judd.
Yes, right?
Right.
Chills you to your bones, that whole
Yes.
thing.
Darkness.
So that's the
Character.
and that he writes, I think, like 19 books a year. Like he
Yes.
there's
Just one comes out a
so
week.
Many, yeah.
And he's like, James Patterson and Dolly Parton, James Patterson and Hillary Clinton, James Patterson and Garen, maybe.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
would be good.
James, let's go.
Yeah, right? Let's do
collab.
it.
Make it
do
happen.
this.
Let's collab with Karen. Like,
Let's go.
And then you're also on a different show on Ovation,
Yeah.
which I've never heard of, called Murdoch Mysteries.
Murdoch Mysteries, yes.
And you described it as?
So it's a period piece. It's a detective, William Murdoch, and it takes place in Toronto. It's a Canadian series.
Yeah.
It takes place it starts, I think, around 1908, 1910.
Fun.
Yeah. And so he's sort of an intrepid detective, and I like to joke because it's now been on for like 19 seasons.
Really?
Yeah. It's been on for a long time. But
People love it.
people love it.
People love a cozy mystery.
They love a cozy mystery, and you sort of know, it's like a procedural, you know?
Yeah.
You know that the crime will get solved by the end. You know that whoever you thought the criminal was is not, and it was
Sure.
actually like the guy at the corner store
Yes.
that, you know, so that's kind of...
Not watched that episode yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
No, it's the guy at the corner store.
Sometimes it's mostly the guy at the corner store.
Mostly.
It's mostly the guy at the corner store.
So it's not really that big of a mystery.
No, but you're just sort of like...
Like, who will be the guy at the corner store this
Yeah.
time? So, and who do you play?
So I came in season 10, which sounds insane, to play this character, Ruth Newsom, who is basically like, I call her like a poor little rich girl. Like she's just sort of a daffy girl with all the money and none of the sense. And I get to wear giant hats. And,
Love it.
yeah, and
Fun.
like huge, crazy dresses. And when I started, we would have to wear bustles. Which, and because time has passed, now bustles aren't in fashion.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just the corset and the corset.
God.
Which, you know, sometimes I sneakily will just take it off after lunch and then just not tell my wardrobe girl.
Oh, and they
I
don't
just
even
hope they don't
notice?
notice. So I'm sure they do, but I just am like, oh, shoot. Oh.
Siobhan. Sorry, I can't. What is this story? You were in the South, French South. Walk us through it.
Okay, so the first thing I have to paint a picture for you is that when I tell people, oh, I like spent a summer working in the south of France, everyone's like, oh, chic, and I was like, no, hold on, you're thinking Saint-Tropez, you're thinking beautiful like beach clubs, no, because obviously the south is a long distance, and I was tasked to work in the south of France, like just outside of Toulouse.
Okay.
Very rural. If I could equate it to a place in America, I would say it's like Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's real rural.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because it's right on the Spanish border, also the French is just sounds different.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know what I mean? Like how English sounds different depending on your
in the
accent.
South, yeah.
Absolutely.
And all the mergings of cultures and stuff. So yeah, my mother decided that I was going to do this because I think I was like 21 or 2, had a bit of a deadbeat boyfriend, had my whole summer planned out. I was going to work at like some shitty club bar, you know, in between like second year and third year university, hang out with my boyfriend.
You're Canadian, yes?
I'm Canadian,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Drink Smirnoff Ice, like just like
Yes, the plan.
this is the best summer, like I know what I'm doing. And my mother, I'm also an only child, so she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And she had this friend who I'm going to call Jane for the sake of privacy. And she was like, I was speaking with Jane, and she has this beautiful bed and breakfast in the south of France that she's running. She owns it. And, she always likes doing room and board. Like, you would go and work in the restaurant because she's a chef. She trained at the Cordon Bleu and stuff.
Wow.
Like, you'll work at her little restaurant, and, you have to sort of do housekeeping, but then, you stay there for the summer. And I was like, I mean, okay.
So you agree? You weren't like, no.
Well, I was sort of like, okay, adventure. And we were a family that traveled a lot, so that didn't feel out of the ordinary. I also knew the boyfriend was a deadbeat, so I was like,
nice.
Yeah.
Might be a good exit.
Oh my God, I'm going to totally do this to Alex.
Yes.
I already can see my daughter dating a dumbass.
Yes.
We all do, though. We all have to.
Send her to the south of France.
Send her to South France.
Arkansas.
The Arkansas of France.
or just send her to some place where someone can because... Well, Jane didn't really end up looking after me in the end.
Okay.
Well, as we will come to find out.
Yeah, but again, I was 22, so I didn't,
Right.
I had my druthers about me. But so I was like, okay, let's go, let's do it, adventure, fine. I get there. It could not be more in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're picturing something, I'm guessing, much more glamorous than what it ends up being.
Glamorous, but also I can't leave the property.
Yeah, you don't have access.
There's not even if I were to ride a bike, I would have to ride for miles.
We're in a farm.
We're in the country.
Oh, gotcha.
And I thought about this because I listened to your episode with Drew about surviving wild boar attacks.
Yes.
Because there were wild boars everywhere.
No.
Oh, wow.
Really?
No, I won't curse, but
you can curse.
Oh, you can.
Oh, I was going to say dead ass. They were everywhere.
Yes.
Because I would smoke outside after my shift was done. The shift of me, I'm the only employee there, and I would smoke and I would hear them.
Oh my God.
In the bushes, and I would be and Jane would say to me, she's like, if you hear them getting close, get inside. Get inside.
Oh my God.
I was like, where am I? What is this? And you can't I didn't have a car. Because I'm sort of at the mercy of my hosts.
Right.
And again, beautiful place. Gorgeous old stone farmhouse.
Yes.
There's roses climbing up the side of it. There's a pool.
Idyllic.
And then there's the sort of the guest house where people would stay if they were staying over. Mostly she just ran a restaurant.
Which was on the property?
Which was, yeah. So she had not even, it was kind of off the books. It wasn't an industrial kitchen.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I worked as the only waitress and cleaned the bed and breakfast and stuff. But when I got there, it became very apparent that Jane and the husband, who had bought her this beautiful stone house, were in the midst of a very tenuous divorce.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So he was sleeping in one room, she was sleeping in another. I was sleeping in the weird little attic, like a Cinderella. And they had no problem not hiding it from me, which was so fun.
So fun.
It's so fun to be plopped into someone else's dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
navigating that. Yeah.
Right. And just being like, hey, it's so nice to see you, Jane. I hadn't seen her since I was a child, basically, or I shouldn't say that, 10.
Yeah.
And she was like, great. And then this sort of very strange British man who was like, we're separating.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'll just put my bags upstairs. Okay, great. And so we would have lunch, because in France, lunch is the big meal. And she would house a bottle of wine every lunch.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Amazing.
And I was like, yeah, queen,
sure,
go off.
This is when in France.
And they would just fight, and I would eat a piece of smoked salmon and a beautiful tomato. And just, be like, what am I doing?
And are there guests at this point?
There are not. There was only one guest who stayed in the house, in the guest house.
And they're not eating meals with you.
No, they would come for dinner. So she would do dinner service.
Okay.
Luckily, yes. No, we protected the guests from that chaos.
Okay.
But dinner service, it was quite popular.
Yeah.
Was my French great? No. No. Did people question why I was working at a French restaurant? Yes, I did, 100%. I then very quickly got a French boyfriend.
Yes, you did.
Oh, wow. Now, well, first of all, before you move on to that.
I cheated on the one back.
No, that's okay. But what I was going to ask is this guy who is newly about to get divorced, and you're this tall, blonde, beautiful 22-year-old, lady suddenly in the house. Did he try to hit on you, or
no? He was rather ancient.
Oh, well, that doesn't usually stop them.
No, that's true.
Okay,
that's true.
He had good manners though.
He had good manners.
Good.
If anything, he was sort of like an uncle in a way, that he kept sort of being like, "I'm so sorry. This is this is so upsetting."
Justin, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
That's exactly
alcohol,
what it felt like. I'm like,
fighting.
am I honey? Like,
Yes.
Oh God. Okay, great. But he was quite lovely, and she was just a tornado of.
Yeah. What a dump. What a dump.
So, how do you find a boyfriend if there's no way to get off the farm?
Okay, so get this.
Yes.
So Jane is having an affair.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
boy.
Yeah, she is.
She's having an affair with the mayor of the town.
No.
Nice.
Yes.
Under the radar.
Well, I don't know. It's France. Like
Yeah.
it gets complicated because I'll get there. And he was lovely. He was handsome, and he came to the restaurant for dinner like a couple times. Once just by himself. I didn't know that this affair was happening, and then, Jane, after the bottle of wine, would always be like, "Let's go talk." And I was like, let me play on the internet. Like, let's not, please. And so she told me all about it, and she's like, "And tomorrow night, he's coming for dinner, and he's bringing his son. I think you'll like him."
Okay.
And I was like, I have a boyfriend. Like, I'm good. She was like, you're going to love him. And she he was tall and sort of a doyoy, but like.
A what?
A doyoy, like.
A doyoy?
Like
dum-dum?
Yeah,
Okay.
like just, there's not much behind the eyes, but he was tall and handsome, and I was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Jane was like, you should take her out to go to see you have horses. Siobhan loves horses.
Oh.
And I was like, I mean, I kind of like him. I'm not like a horse.
Right.
Like, yeah. We
Okay,
see
let's
your
go look at a
horses.
horse.
Okay, fine. And I think I'll call him George, just because his real name is too complicated because it was so French. And so
Was it George?
George was like, okay. Also, George did not speak English.
Oh,
This is
wow.
fun. It's better even.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Because then, and I spoke like enough French that I just kept being like, in French, like, how do you say, "mais"? Comment tu dis, light? And he would then tell me, and he like felt like a big shot because he'd be like, this idiot. And I was like,
Right.
I'm actually very smart. And I'm actually hilarious, but you'll never know because I don't speak French. But so then we went to his parents' property. And when you're the mayor of the town and you've lived in a town in the south of France for a long time, you also have a castle.
Wow.
What?
Full-on castle that his grandmother stays in the winter, so it was closed.
Oh.
Not a winter castle.
Yeah, a winter castle, because in the summer it's too hot.
Oh.
It's so too hot. Nothing is air conditioned, so she doesn't want to stay in the castle.
No.
This is, and I was just like, cool, yeah, totally, same. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, same vibes for
So
sure.
when it's closed, now I've watched a lot of Downton Abbey and so forth. Are there are sheets over all the furniture because they have to prepare, and
Precisely.
then when you come back, you take everything off. Okay.
There was like, because I was just like, you gotta let me look in the castle.
Right, of
He's like,
course.
no, we're not going in. And I was just like, I got it. But like, let me in. But I looked in the windows and everything has like the dust covers.
Yeah.
There's like a piano. There's this.
I can't believe he wouldn't let you go in.
He was like, it's my grandmother's house. We can't. And also, it was our first quote unquote date. So I get it. Like, who's this weird Canadian girl who's like
Right.
hanging out? But then, we went to look at the horses, and I was like, I don't know. I'm bored.
Yeah.
Let's make out.
You're 21.
Yeah.
You're like, let's do this.
Let's do this. And then he was like, do you know how to ride a horse? And I was like, yeah, no. And then we rode horses. And I almost like I was going sideways
Oh
at
my
one
God.
point. Because his family has a stable and like they're riding horses. And I'm like, same vibe. Not the same vibe. Falling off sideways.
Oh my God.
And then I had to like, speaking of core strength, be like, get yourself back on. But then we just started, I mean, I guess the kids would say just like hanging out.
Yeah. Hooking up.
Macking.
Yeah, macking. That's what I used to call
No,
it.
I know. That's our age. I mean, did you ever say macking?
No.
It means kissing, right? Making out?
Yeah, making out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think, I mean, it was all Jane sort of machinations,
Yes.
to be like, oh, well, now you're dating the son of the man I'm having.
Yes.
But then it gets complicated because I'm there for the whole summer, so I get to know the family, which means I get to know the wife.
Oh, the mayor's wife.
Oh, no.
The mother of
Yes.
my boyfriend.
Oh, I didn't
Yes.
know. Oh, they're still married.
So technically, Jane's not having the affair.
Right.
The mayor is having the affair.
She's split up.
Yeah.
already.
Does the son know that his father is stepping out?
I never asked.
Uh-huh.
But he had to wonder why.
Why do we keep going here?
Why do we keep going to this like little weird stone cottage restaurant?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I mean, it's a small town, but still. And the mother was so chic, so lovely.
Did you have any feelings for him, or was it just
fun? It was very fun. He was, again, like, he was lovely. I'm pretty sure he was quite sexist. Like, there was like
In France?
like, ridiculous, especially
believe
in the
it.
South.
Yeah.
There was often times where there was a sort of a like, oh, Siobhan, like, oh, you stupid, like, a little bit of this. And I was like that, and I'd be like, I just can't speak your language. I'm not stupid, I promise. Like, I have a degree. I come from a very like well-read family. And I was just like, which was in a way I got to cosplay it just a different person. I got to just be a different girl who was sort of just like, oh, this is so fun, and we're riding horses and we're driving in cars, and we're going to go swim in a lake. Oh, like, as opposed to being like, okay, where are we going for dinner tonight? I don't like that place. No, I don't want to do that. Oh my God, my mom's calling. Okay, I've got like, I could just sort of be along for the.
That sounds kind of fun.
It was kind of fun to just be a little French bimbo. The only weird part, which, trigger warning, no animals were killed, but there was one date that Georges took me on.
Yes.
Because we would just hang out, like, we'd either like go to the discotheque in town, or we'd go hang out at his parents' house if they weren't there, for obvious reasons. And then he was like, let's go hang out with my friends, because he was in forestry school. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, exactly. Like, sure.
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
say anything. I'm like, sounds good. Great.
Yeah, this isn't forever.
I'm just gonna pretend
Be a clown.
foresty is French.
But like,
for business.
okay, so you're like a tree, like you're into trees, like, okay, like you want to be a park ranger. It was not, the translation was very much lost in that moment. But he's like, a bunch of my friends from forestry school, let's go get them. We'll like go drive around. And I was like, fun. I'll meet your friends, and I'll be like, Bimbo Siobhan, and it's fun. So we pick up like two other guys, and what I should say before this is there are a lot of feral, not only, warthogs, pigs, but cats, dogs.
Sure.
Just people have farms, the animals breed, and,
They're everywhere.
they're everywhere. A lot of feral cats. We start driving into a field, like off-road. They stop. One of them goes into the back and takes out what looks like a shotgun. Mm-hmm. It's a BB gun. But, okay. I'm the only girl.
Okay.
And then the other guy gets out a big, like a mag light or like a huge, like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the left side of the car. The guy with the light is sitting next to me. And then my boyfriend, the guy I was seeing, Georges, gets into the front seat, and they roll down the windows. And in my head, I'm like, are they going to hunt me for sport? Like, is this
The most dangerous game.
right? Because I was like, I've seen this movie.
It's Canadian night.
I didn't like the ending, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
oh no.
and I like at this point I knew him. I was like, no, but me. Like, and I'm terrified. And then I was like, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Like, what's happening? And he's like, oh, le chat. And I was like, the cats? Yeah, what? I'm not even joking. They put in a cassette. It's an old car. It's Eye of the Tiger.
No.
Stop it.
I wish I was joking. I swear on my life. It's Eye of the Tiger on cassette. They blast it, windows down. One of them, my boyfriend, is out with the BB gun, and the other one has the mag light, and they're trying to, like,
shoot cats
with the BB gun.
Oh,
so this
my
goes
God.
on for approximately, not even the length of the song, because I was like, no, we're not doing this. Like, this is, and they were sort of like, lame. Like, this is what happens. Like, this is what we, like, this is fun. I was like, we're not hunting animals for sport. And I was like, I was the bummer. I don't care. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
drive me home. He dropped off the boys, and they were just like, they said probably a million swear words in French that were like way above my pay grade. And then I was just like in silence the whole ride, and I was like, what is wrong with you? He was like, it's animals. Like, it doesn't matter. They're feral. They're feral. They're not, it's not a pet. And I was like, they're pets in my culture?
Yes. Yeah. That's so crazy.
Is that not insane?
That is crazy. I mean, if it was like the hogs, like because they're coming onto your property, or they're destroying things, but cats.
They went hunting for cats.
Or just like BB is not going to kill it.
That's what I thought. It's going to make it worse.
Injure it.
It's just cruel.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
100%. And I was like, okay.
I would have been happier, honestly, if they were shooting them to kill them.
Yes.
To be like, because they're
population control.
If you're like, there's too many and they're spreading a disease.
Sure.
We have a justifiable reason.
But even then, like,
but that's just sport. Like,
that's
for fun,
so
and
gross.
it's cruel.
It was so cruel. It was so dark. I'm so happy that I told you guys that and really brought the mood up.
Yes.
No, we love this.
But and like everything just sort of like my eyes sort of changed. I was just like, oh, right. We are from very different places.
Yeah.
You and your version of like understanding nature and like rural connection to your community is different. Like, I know I'm a city girl, but like that felt weird, right? Like that felt weird.
Yes.
So that was
that the end between you and George?
Pretty much. Yeah. After that, I was like, well, I'll get in one or two more, and then we'll just
right.
You're like, I still have sex with you a couple of times.
Just for the road.
What else am I going to do?
Literally, what else am I going to do? There's only so many like beautiful like plates of pate that I can serve before
Hot
I'm like
French, but he shoots cats with BB.
I mean,
if I'm not there, it's not happening. So
yeah.
Just don't do it in front of me.
Just don't do it in front of me.
Yeah.
Why would you think that I wanted to participate in this? Georges is married to a lovely French woman and has like 3 kids.
Wow.
There you go.
Do they still live there?
I think they the property's huge. So
is he doing a good job on keeping the forest updated? Like, is he keeping it nice?
He's in forestry. He literally went there.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
We need people to go into forestry.
100%.
Right? Keep those
Well,
forests.
not if the way they're going to do it is to shoot kitty cats.
Let's hope he grew out of it.
I think he probably did. I think he might have thought he was impressing me. I don't know.
Eye of the tiger.
Young boys do very dumb shit.
Cat scratch fever is right there.
I know, right?
That is so correct.
Or even memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a dark night of.
Yeah.
That was the dark night of the soul. That was the dark night of the soul. Yeah, it was
tears coming out while you're shotting kittens.
Yeah, but we would back when I used the old Facebook, we would message, and I would message him in French, and he would message in English. Just we would check in on each other and be like,
that's so nice.
Because I would be like, how are your parents, and this and that. So. Yeah, I mean, I think he sort of evolved and grew up.
He turned out okay.
Yeah. He turns out okay, and I think it's 3 daughters. So,
oh boy,
I really want you to check back up on him and just say, remember when you were shooting the cats? What are your thoughts on that now?
I should.
I really just
remember when your dad was fucking around on your mom.
Yeah, how'd that work out? They still together?
And then he could be like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Sorry. Delete account, delete account, delete account.
Well, it's nice
he knew it. I think he knew it.
Of course.
Did you get back with your deadbeat boyfriend when you came back?
No, I came back and was immediately like, the world is so much bigger than you.
Right.
Yes.
Classic.
And our Smirnoff Ices and this little town of Toronto. I love Toronto.
You're like, I drink champagne now.
I drink champagne only from the Champagne region of France.
It's not
the
champagne
real,
if you don't.
the real stuff.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
Thank you for letting me
I feel like I got a little vacation.
Yes.
I got to go. I traveled to the South. French South.
French South. No one says it that way.
No one ever. But it's going to catch on.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me. This was such a delight.
Oh, good.
This was so fun.
And we will be back with What Did We Learn Today? Kristine.
Oh, yes, Danielle.
Are you ready to learn what we learned today?
Yes, I am.
The state of things in Los Angeles are greatly exaggerated.
Yes, don't believe the hype.
We all have a limitless well of rage. Moon Music, full title Music of the Spheres Volume 2, Moon Music, is the 10th studio album by British rock band Coldplay. Released on October 4th, 2024 by Parlophone in the UK. It serves as the second part of their Music of the Spheres project, the first being From Earth with Love. Wow, he really is soft.
Yeah.
He's a soft boy.
He is a soft boy,
You
BOI.
see this like late at night, like right after the Yanni commercial.
Yeah, right.
You want Mune music? Mune?
Mune.
Mune?
He also pronounces it Mune.
Oh no.
Yeah.
A liquid you?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
I love to look at the Mune at night.
Oh God. 3 editions of the album were made available: Notebook, Tour, and Full Moon. Each one has its own exclusive content. Well, then those are different albums.
That's what they all do now.
Including voice memos, live sets, and bonus track. Voice memo. Chris, bring home eggs and milk. Voice memos?
Yeah.
What?
I love that he says it to himself.
Yeah. Chris Martin, don't forget the butterscotch.
And dahlias.
And dahlias?
Yeah, he's got to get dahlias for
for Dakota?
For Dakota. Dakota loves dahlias.
Well,
Dakota loves dahlias.
you might want to keep reading.
Oh, okay. In case you were curious, there's still love between Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin, though the pair have allegedly split after 8 years
They were
together.
together 8 years?
It doesn't even seem like he's been divorced for 8 years.
Yeah.
How old is she?
The Coldplay frontman showed his support for his ex-fiance's new A24 flick Materialists, in which she stars alongside Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I want to see that. The Bod Squad is a series of short public service announcements broadcast on Saturday mornings on the ABC television network from 1974 through 1988. These 30-second and 1-minute segments promoted healthy nutrition and personal hygiene through humorous animation and catchy music with clever lyrics. This includes the 1977 short Don't Drown Your Food, which warned children against overusing condiments and learned to enjoy the natural flavors of vegetables, eggs, etc.
God, I have no memory of that.
The other one I remember is that they taught you how to make like popsicles out of just juice. Like you put frozen, I think you put orange juice in an ice tray.
Yes.
And stuck
toothpicks
in it.
We did that, but I don't remember learning it from a commercial.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched as much Saturday morning TV as you did.
I don't think anybody watched as much TV as I did.
Well, I did play outside a lot.
Yeah. I don't think I played outside. I mean, I was in ballet all the time, but I don't know. I must have played somewhat. I don't know. Trench fever is a rare, moderately serious, and louse-borne bacterial infection.
I was right.
Caused by Bartonella quintana. It's characterized by a recurring fever pattern known as Quinton fever and influenza-like symptoms. The disease was first observed in military populations during World Wars I and II, affecting between 1/5 and 1/3 of British troops. It's most commonly associated with areas of poor sanitation and high population density or homeless populations. So I wanted to hear about your trip to the fancy restaurant, Gordon Ramsay's fancy restaurant.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen in Vegas.
Yeah.
With the boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's at Caesar's Palace.
Oh.
It's not inside of Caesar's Palace, though, because we figured that out when we really couldn't find it. But he has like multiple other restaurants inside of Caesar Palace that aren't Hell's Kitchen. He has like Hell's Kitchen Pub and Grill, where you're
just
like...
to confuse you.
Yeah, you're like, that's not it. And we're sort of racing through the casino trying to find it so we wouldn't be late for a reservation. And there's also... It's, I don't go to Vegas. It's not my thing. But, so it's probably been, 18 years since I've been there.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even know if I've ever been inside of Caesar's Palace, but they're all kind of the same, right? They're all
very high-end shops.
Yeah, high-end shops. People smoking disgusting cigars inside. I can't believe they haven't outlawed that yet, that people can still smoke inside.
Oh, right.
And, you're inside of a city, essentially, right? Whenever you're inside of a hotel, trying to figure out where to go.
Except the statues come alive.
The statues do?
There's shows.
Oh, right.
Where the statues will do really cool shit.
I didn't know that.
Really neat,
Vanderpump has a restaurant inside of there now. So finally we realized, we have to go outside again to get... We accidentally sneaked in and got free parking somehow because, now it used to be free parking. Last time I went to Vegas, all the parking at all the hotels was free because it was like, we know you're going to come in here and spend money.
Right.
So parking is free. It's not. It's like $40 now to park at every casino. But we somehow accidentally snuck in where the valet does the parking.
Oh.
We weren't trying. It was just where Google directed us and it was open and we just pulled in and we parked and like...
That's a win.
I know. I was like, well, that's like gambling. We just made $45.
Absolutely.
So parking was free, which we were very thankful about that. And finally get into the restaurant. Thank God we had reservations. It's packed to the gills.
Okay.
It's nice. You can see the kitchens. You can see all the chefs cooking. And the food is outrageously expensive.
I bet.
And
you were prepared for that, right?
I knew that.
Okay.
And then Benji's best friend was like, I'm going to get the what's it called?
Beef bourguignon. Beef Wellington.
Thank you. I kept wanting to say beef bourguignon, and I was like, it's not that. So he was like, I'm going to get the beef Wellington because this is the signature dish.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? Let me just tell you that Benji just made this. I think he did it right, and none of us liked it. I go, I don't know that, because it was $100.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
holy shit.
I'm not going to tell you not to get it. I just want you to know it's a lot of money for you to not like something. So make sure, just think about it. It has, it's made with mustard, and he's a little bit of a picky kid.
Oh.
So then, and Benji's like, I'm getting the whatever the fancy steak was. And it wasn't the most expensive. And I think he was trying to like not spend money. I go, Benji, it's fine. Get whatever steak you want. This is part of your Christmas present.
There, right?
But he didn't. He still got one that was less expensive, but it was still, I think, like $70.
Jesus.
And
now, let me just ask.
Yes.
Is this the kind of place where you have to order the sides separately?
Uh-huh.
So $70 is just the steak.
Just the steak with like a weird. I don't know if this was potato or if it was a sauce,
like a puree,
like
or
a
something?
puree slid across, like a tablespoon slid across.
Right.
I think it was some kind of sauce.
Right.
And then Benji's like, well, let's all get an appetizer. So he orders oyster Rockefeller, which I think no one else wanted. But
no.
That's what he orders. And I was like, have you ever had oysters Rockefeller? He's like, no, but that's what I want. So I was like, okay, order oysters Rockefeller. And I did not want any meat. I just was like, I'm not a big steak person. Mm-hmm. I have like 2 bites of steak and I'm done. So I ended up ordering an appetizer. I got the risotto, lobster risotto.
Ooh,
sounds good.
I love lobster risotto.
That sounds
But they only had it as an appetizer, and that was $30 for an appetizer.
But was it enough food
It
for
was
you?
fine. I just got it. I ordered that and a salad. And,
Okay. And was it delicious? Was it like...
was incredible.
Good. Okay, good.
I mean, everybody and Angie, my friend Angie, got a chicken dish because she doesn't really like steak, and she was like, "You have to try this. This is the best chicken I've ever had." And Benji loved the oysters Rockefeller. Thank God.
What
is
I've always heard it as a reference, but I don't know what it is.
They're not raw oysters that like you slide down. They're cooked and they're big, and they have like a cream spinach puree on them.
Okay.
And I just tasted a little bit of the spinach because I was like, well, save one for me. But he didn't. He just wolfed them all down.
Thanks, Benj.
And everybody got like a mocktail that was like a fancy drink. And it was just incredible. The food was so good.
So did Benji's friend get something other than...
He did. He ended up getting the same steak that Benji got, and he loved it. And I felt bad because, I mean, a lot of people around us had the beef Wellington, and I wish there could have been a way that it was
Taste
like,
it?
could you just, hey, over there, do you mind giving this little boy a bite of your beef Wellington? That wouldn't have been weird.
But you're right. You don't want to...
It's so much money to be like, no. Oh, and update. I know we've mentioned Omega Mart here 12 times.
Yes.
So for the last day, while we're driving to Coldplay, we see a truck go by that's advertising Omega Mart, and it says, you can get your tickets. Like, it has a scan code on the side of the bus that's driving by. And I was like, tickets? You got to get tickets to go to this grocery store? So I go, what's the deal, Benjamin? And he goes, I don't know. Let me have your phone. I'll look it up now. He goes, oh, it's kind of like a museum, I guess. And I go, well, how much is it going to cost for us to go? So for all of us to go, it would have been like $275.
Jesus Christ.
To go in. And I go, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I go, we did Coldplay and we did Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
We're done. There's a pool at our Airbnb.
Right.
That's your Omega Mart, is the swimming pool at the Airbnb. So we didn't go.
And did we ever decide what is actually in there?
Well, he looked at it, the website, and I didn't even look at it because I was like, I don't need to. He's like, it kind of looks like a weird museum, kind of.
With
I
food?
think it's just one of these weird. I don't think it's actually a store.
It's more like an escape room or something.
It's like an experience.
Oh, okay.
Like it's one, you ever like these speakeasies that they're opening up where you go through a photo booth and you're in some alcohol wonderland or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like that. You crawl through like a washing machine and now you're in some fancy.
Okay.
Bright lights and.
Gotcha.
Lasers and stuff.
Okay, I see.
I think that's basically what it is.
Anyway,
on that note,
thanks for listening, everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful day
and a wonderful summer.
Wonderful summer.
And until next time,
remain calm.